Hi, welcome to Recap. You know how people are always trying to lose weight? Well, apparently, there's this creepy new method where they suck the fat right out of your body. Can you imagine? You could drop 10 pounds in just minutes. It's like magic, except, the terrifying kind. Now here's where it gets wild. This dude just won the hot dog eating contest, and as he hops in his car, out of nowhere, a mysterious monster appears behind him. And then the dude's body starts to shake violently, and his body shrinks like a deflated basketball. It's like someone let the air out of him. Then, we got Dean and Sam, those supernatural brothers on the case. They hear about these crazy weight loss incidents, and they're like, hold up, something fishy is going on here. The next day, the similar thing happens again. This poor lady gets knocked out from behind while exercising, and guess what? Her weight drops straight down at a high speed, and then she dies. It's like her body fat got sucked out quicker than a kid with a milkshake and a straw. The two brothers arrive at the scene, and after some examination they find a suction mark on the victim. They're like, whoa, what's up with that? Then they talk to the personal trainer, thinking she might have some answers. And guess what? She's got that same suction mark. But strange thing is, she's still alive. Turns out, this trainer went to a mysterious spa that promises easy weight loss without dieting. Sam and Dean follow the trail of clues and decide to go undercover as personal trainers in that spa. They are interviewed by a couple, Larry and Maritza, who are the owners of the spa. Guess what? Sam nails the trainer position, and Dean, well, they only have one trainer position available at the moment, so he gets stuck as the lunch guy. Poor Dean. Now here's where it gets sticky. Dean can't resist his hunger, so he sneaks a taste of this mysterious pudding they've got in the kitchen. But little does he know, it's gonna send him on a dizzying ride. Just before he passes out, he tries to call Sam for help. Meanwhile, Sam's teaching yoga, being all flexible and zen. But he starts to notice something fishy. Every client he sees has a suction mark. Is it like a secret club or something? And just when things couldn't get any stranger, Maritza, the spa owner, is doing some cupping therapy. She's like, oh, it's an ancient Chinese technique that removes toxins and helps with weight loss. But the downside, you end up with a red suction mark on your back. What cupping therapy? It's just a fancy way to say suck therapy. Because it's not from cups, it's the mark from sucking. Sam, after a yoga class, bumps into Mary, the local sheriff, who's just finished her cupping therapy. Through their conversation, Larry begins to suspect Sam's true identity later. Sam goes to the kitchen and finds Dean unconscious next to a pile of potatoes in the kitchen. Turns out, that pudding was drugged. Don't trust random pudding people. It's not always just innocent dessert. So Sam plays detective and interrogates the chef who made the pudding. But guess what? The chef is clueless. Turns out, everyone gets pudding before their suck therapy. The chef simply adds the specified supplements to the pudding, as requested by Maritza and Larry. Now, the brothers suspect this couple, Maritza and Larry, involved in the previous murders. Meanwhile, Maritza and Larry figure out Sam and Dean's true identity, that they're brothers and they're hunters. So, to destroy the evidence, Maritza rushes to dump the fat from the fridge, but suddenly she thinks, what a waste. Might as well eat it. Just when she's about to enjoy her fat feast, Dean sneaks up behind her. He sees everything and then ties her to the chair. But then she says she is just a Peruvian fat sucker, and she sucks fat to help people lose weight and feed herself at the same time. It's a win-win, she says. She swears she didn't hurt anyone. Then who's responsible for the murders? So, it turns out it was her brother Alonzo, who's got an appetite bigger than a sumo wrestler at an all-you-can-eat buffet. Larry and Maritza have been working their butts off for years to build their fancy spa, and they ain't gonna let Alonzo ruin it with his food frenzy. So, Larry decides to fire him faster than a firework. Sam happens to stroll by at that exact moment and hears screams coming from the kitchen. He rushes in, only to find out that Larry's been killed by none other than Alonzo. Maritza, devastated to find out her husband got killed by her own brother, breaks down in tears. Over the years, the couple had this rule of just eating enough to get by and coexisting peacefully with humans. But Alonzo, he's like a vacuum cleaner sucking up fat. He is a reckless man who once almost killed a client during a therapy session because he sucked too much fat. Because of that, Maritza had to put him in the kitchen and only let him eat the fat from the jars. But the guy's got no self-control. That's why we had 2 previous murders, folks. To stop Alonzo from turning into a serial killer, Maritza spills the beans on where he might be hiding. Dean and Sam, armed with knives and flashlights, head down to the basement. They decide to split up to search. Oh no, they should have watched more horror movies to know that splitting up is never a good idea. Poor Sam gets attacked from behind by Alonzo. That's when things get intense. Alonzo attacks from behind, using the closet to pin Sam down. Sam struggles to push the closet away. He reaches for a knife, thinking he's gonna go all ninja on Alonzo, but let's face it, he's no match for this fat, obsessed maniac. Down on the ground, he goes again. Just as Alonzo is about to deliver a fatal blow with his proboscis, Dean, the hero, arrives. He slashes off Alonzo's proboscis like a karate master cutting a cucumber. Sam is saved. Alonzo, on the other hand, well, he loses his proboscis and dies instantly. Talk about a tragic end for a guy who couldn't resist the fatty delights. Now, only Maritza is left. She's a monster too, but she's never harmed a human. In fact, she's been helping the boys crack the case. So, they decide to let her go like a pigeon flying free. Thank you for tuning in and watching the video. See you next time.